All right, all right, all right. A little bit of hot start today, but that's usually how this goes. That is the set 1 king list. This is literally the first time I'll ever commentate this guy, so that's pretty neat. That's a fun little fact. We'll see how that goes. And next on the other side, Katakuri, not as, I'd say, surprising for that one. Get the king player out of, yeah, we'll see. Purple did get some cards, all right? Purple did get some cards this set, so maybe we're the fools for not running king. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah, I was there. I'll be back at Olympus in like a week. I'll be there Wednesday. We'll be doing their locals there Wednesday too. King is a leader. You guys are correct. You guys are correct. So, and also, I do happen to have, like, if you guys want to see, I did mention it, all of the PPG lists are literally on my website right now. It's been a busy day. Like, I've had, like, the last 3 days on vacation, and then I hit the ground running. So, all right. 1 Dawn, doing nothing, passing back. So, King has an effect. And in case you don't know what the effect is that if you have 10 Dawn on your field, all your opponent's characters get minus 1k. And yeah, and that is the Bounty 2. This is the Zulu's OP04 Bounty Tournament. And it's the second one, so it's the Uta one. I do have the Luffy one too, so really nice play mats. Do appreciate those. All right, 7k with the leader. Looking at the top card of their life and keeping it. Going down to 4. Thinking. Bryce is on the think train. All right, taking it and passing. All right, playing the Sparrow, passing. Not too surprising there. Okay, going to 5 Dawn. Let's see. Whoever plays for King right now. He's an Animal Kingdom Pirates, right? So he can play Onigashima, right? A wager chart for this game? Maybe. I think it's... oh, okay, we're playing the Missile Sunday. All right, I mess with that. So you get to draw a card and go to 6. One of the new cards from OP04. So that ramp is really good. And like late game, hitting it off your life is not too terrible. All right, and then attacking with Sparrow. After attacking with the leader. Okay, going down to 3, and then we are playing a 6-drop Sparrow. Let's see, Fly High Rock. Yeah, I'm surprised a little bit to see that Croc got top 8 this past weekend, but and so I did like. It's been a really busy morning, so the video is coming out in like an hour as in while I'm live, I'm editing it and I'm publishing it. But now that I've seen it in action a little bit more, now that I've seen it perform at a high level, maybe I put Croc a little bit too low on my tier list, but I always thought that it could top. We'll see how good it does for the next couple weeks. Oh, purple yellow. Oh, nice. Never mind. Flip the script. Very good. If I was playing today, I'd definitely be playing that deck. I think it's just like even the fact like your opponent doesn't like know what's going on half the time might be in a really good spot for you. But let's see, we're attacking into the Sparrow, getting it away. Looking at top 3 for Simon. What are we finding? Oh, 3 Sparrows and a 7-drop. Or two 3-drops and a 7-drop. Linlin. Let's see, Kaido won their first locals with Green Purple Doffy. Green Purple Doffy did go well at PPG this weekend too. It did lose out in top 32, but I think it's something. I did see like one of the stream matches where like they just played 3 10-drop Doffys back to back to back and just like stalled out Newgate from doing anything for 3 turns. It looked really nasty. Looked really, really nasty. well, we've got, I believe, 8 Dawn now. So for 5, we're playing, okay, playing the Queen. Pretty standard card. Drawing 2 and discarding 1 for the cost of Dawn -1 is usually not too bad. I think the only issue, like, despite everything, the issue with King is that, like, if it was a plus 1k boost to everything, I think it'd be better than minus 1k to your opponent's stuff. But it's actually kind of hard to have 10 Dawn open because you use all these minus effects all the time. Oh, but we finally get the Onigashima as well. So that's gonna help you establish like those -1 effects too. I have no idea what with that if they got DQ'd. I have literally no idea. So I'm in Washington, like literally like the other side of the country. Washington State, not Washington DC. And there will be 6 or 7 rounds, and then we'll have a top 8 cut with best of 3 as well. So it should be, you guys are going to be here for quite a bit. Should be another long day of One Piece OP04 coverage. I don't trust the only thing that I do know happened is that like Jonas, which is a local to me, and he got top 8 with Katakuri, and then he had to leave because he's going to miss his flight. So that's the only thing I do know. So Katakuri could have gone all the way, but flight said no. King is, let me actually double check. King's both turns, maybe the card is good, but I think it's only your own turn. King says only on your turn. Let's see. So I was okay. Here's my morning. I got all the deck lists together. I was waiting for the finals to finish to record it. I started recording it, and then I realized halfway through that my audio wasn't set up correctly, and so I had to re-record it. And by the time I was done with that, round 1 was live. So I'm a little bit behind today. Listen, okay. I'm not a betting man, but like if I could not like leave on Monday, also Arizona from Knoxville is pretty far away, so I get it. I get like wanting to get like the cheaper flight. And he got top 8. He got the money. He got the serial card and the invite, and by invite I mean 2 round buy. So like I don't, after top 8 like it doesn't, it's exponentially smaller kind of gains for it. So I get it, but it does stink that they weren't able to finish. Let's see, I'm behind. What am I behind? Mr. Dan. But we'll see. You'll see after like we might have like an extended break between rounds 1 and 2 just so I can finish actually publishing the video. And then and then I should be good to go. And then I should be caught up. But we're running Magellan as well. The Spice. And we use their 7-drop Big Mom to be able to gain the card back, like give them the card back. And we're not at 10 Dawn either, so we don't get like the minus effect either. But we already know there's 1 10-drop at least in hand because the pudding found it earlier. Is King even vital? I guess we'll find out together. Yeah. All right, Bryce is thinking. All right, playing another Missile Sunday to get another card draw. Technically makes the Perospero 7k, but there it is. Where's Nico or Victor? Nico should be here. Nico Hyung should be here. I don't know about Victor. And then Alex Fu should be here too. I would okay without being like too optimistic. King could potentially like be good against like decks like Trafalgar Law or like maybe Doffy, who like put out a lot of bodies to make it easier to get rid of. Oh, but we're Thunderbolting away the Queen. Okay. Oh, we're actually getting rid of the Robin. Interesting. Oh, okay, that's why. All right, so we're just going full removal. Man, if they play the 10-drop Kaido though, that's pretty bad for them. All right, 5k with leader. Get out of it. We'll have to see. And if they just do like an immediate 5k swing, then we know. Oh. I'm bringing up the card. I'm bringing it up. Yeah, there it is. Woo. That is pretty rough. I mean, you have to start off at like what, 5 Dawn with Onigashima. That's pretty strong. All right, and we're gonna find. Are we gonna see another one of the 4 Emperors hit the board right after this? We have to, right? Have to see another, like a Charlotte Linlin come down, right? Has to. All right, yep. All right, 3 life to 1 now. Last one is Queen, which is fine. It's a 1k counter. You definitely would like it in hand. You're currently at 7 Dawn. You can go up to 8 with Onigashima. But you, I definitely would want to be the Katakuri player right now if I had to choose between the two. All right, Bryce is thinking. You like to be Katakuri every time? I'm sure there's times in the matchup like this that I'd want to be the King player. I don't know. It's definitely not this time right now, though. Yeah, if they have another 10-drop in hand, though, which they might, we do. I can't tell immediately on my tiny screen. You guys actually might have like better resolution than what my setup's showing me right now, but we do have that. We'll have to see. We will have to see. All right, 5k on leader. 12k on leader. This is probably going to have to take. Hits into... Sure. Getting rid of a Parasparrow in hand, which is kind of useless. Now you're in trouble. Now they have at least 3 swings if you don't remove the Sanji. Yeah, if the Queen was like usable. Oh, we see him. Man, all the spice. Respect to our King player. Bought out those polys at high price. There it is. So Poly being able to get the removal of the Sanji, also technically being able to get you the ramp since you are at 7 Dawn after you pay the 2. So you're at 8 right now. You can go to 9 with the Onigashima Island. You have 1 open. So Blast Breath is technically live. But you have what? 18 plus 10? I think you have 28 power you can split between the two. I think you can do 2 14k swings. If my quick math is right. We'll see if quick math is right math. Alright, well, definitely thinking about it. What do you got? We got, I think, a Thunderbolt in hand, an arrow, and then 2 other cards. I think one's a beige and then one's something else. Alright, just 12 at lead. Bryce has quite a thick hand, to be honest. And we got 1 card in life, which is the Queen blocker. Yep, alright, getting Queen to hand. Alright, do we just put 10 underneath Katakuri, and so we're 16k with its own effect? It's quite bold. Oh, he's being a little cautious here. 7k on lead. Look at the top card of their life. Curious what their follow-up from here is. Alright, and then 8-drop Katakuri. Alright, to put the poly, I guess that just means like you... Purple can still win here. Purple 100% can still win. And they should have 1 Dawn open, right? Yeah, okay, they figured it out. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, because Katakuri cost 8, and the used 1 underneath leader. Yeah. So, I mean, if you play 9-drop Kaido, though, you can definitely win here. Alright, they swung 5 at lead. Alright. Going down to 12. We do have a Queen blocker in hand, which is important. Oh, another 10-drop. Oh my god. Oh no. Why Poly and not Kaido? Because Kaido is too big. Katakuri only puts 8 underneath. But now you're in like actual trouble here. It depends on the last card in Katakuri's life, but now we are in trouble territory. Now we're in trouble territory. Yeah, I agree that 16 at lead is probably a better spot. All right, so what's the decision? It looks like, looking at the last card in their life, like, oh my gosh. What do they got left? They got like Thunderbolt, and I mean, it's probably rough. I mean, if you know that you have like a blocker or something in life here, you might be good, but I mean, you gave them life because you knew that you had like what you were more afraid of what the poly could have done. I still would just gone 16 face. All right, they get out of it using the Gum. Which one is that one? The purple one. Jack Gatling. All right, they play a 6-drop Espira. I don't know if that's going to be enough. And again, 1 life apiece. Bryce, we knowing it's poly, which is pretty useless if they're going for game. And looks like we got an arrow. Maybe 2k from beige and a 1k from cracker, so that's 6k. Again, with 17k plus 10, you can do... I think you just do like a 13k with king and see what happens, and then go from there. Yeah, unless trigger is good. I mean, we're talking about yellow over here. Excuse me? And Simon knows what the card is. Oh, only 5k at lead? Oh, we're both cowards. Or Shirahoshi. Okay. Yeah, I think I just get going. I would have swung 12 with king first, or with Kaido first, and see what happens. All right, play another queen. All right, getting rid of a useless Magellan in hand. Getting the Dom back. Both, it's like, it's round one, right? Both people are, they're waking up, I suppose. I think both players could have won already at this point. All right. Let's see the okay, getting a blocker off the pudding's pretty good. A 9 Don to still work with. You technically can go for game if you think Shirahoshi's going to connect and win. Yeah, we're both cowards. They are cowards. Chat, let me know. Do you think cowards is too heavy of a word? Should I remove it from my vocabulary, or is it like the right spot? Is it the right spot? Because it is a little bit negative. I won't deny. That's right. Okay. Passive. Passive's maybe like the safer choice. I don't know. There's something about the word coward, where it's just like hopefully Marty McFly doesn't show up. And be like, excuse me? Coward, yeah, I wouldn't call someone a coward to their face. So which is why, like, that I didn't know, which is maybe why it's a little bit heavy-handed for commentary, but it adds a little bit of spice, right? Oh, a double Sanji? Dang. All right. 3 in hand. Not even swinging with the Pero Sparrow. Oh my gosh. Why not? Like, what's the punishment for swinging with Pero Sparrow? Giving them poly to get the removal from one of your blockers, but is that even that bad? Oh, he judgment? Okay, I missed that. Okay, that's my bad. But even so, it's a 5k swing. I guess you could have blocked it with queen. That was it. Okay, sorry, I got too distracted by my coward talk. My apologies. Yeah, we did a Hell's Judgment. My apologies. I will say this has been a fun match to start the day with, so I am happy about that. It has been an interesting one. I will say, okay, I do want to mention real quick. As soon as the top 32 like leader breakdown, I had someone immediately comment on my tier list saying that I don't know why Zoro's an A tier. It's a bad deck into this meta, and then it won the entire event. Like, some people see one event and they think it's they know all the answers. Like, it's crazy. It was really, really funny. All right, a second queen because we're like, we can play blockers too. All right, I did not expect this game to turn into such a grind, but here we are. Here we are. 5k with king. Yeah, I literally just recorded a video twice talking about the deck. Teach is interesting. All right. All right. But yeah, in general, like I don't think we can get a lot from this first weekend. We get some like insights, but like it's with people still kind of figuring out their builds and people just also for like a large event, you want to play the deck that you're comfortable with and familiar with. And so a lot of people I think were just on Newgate because of that. But that might be also optimistic and a little bit of copium, so we'll see. We'll see if that's true in the next couple events. But that's kind of a little bit of my insight. Yeah, that's true. There was also for the record, I don't know why people are being so nasty. Maybe nasty is the word. Maybe bad spirited again. He got literally second, which is incredible for a 600-person event. Like that's fantastic. I don't know why people were bad mouthing him. Unless he literally advertised that he was going to win the whole thing. Yeah, I think that's pretty distasteful, to be honest. Oh, another Hell's Judgment. Cool. If people are memeing though, that's fine. Like meming's fine, but like if they were truthful about it, that's a little distasteful in my mind. Like he's like what? He didn't win one game. He won like 14. He won like 12 to 14 games that weekend. Like 14-2 or whatever his record ended up being is fantastic. Yeah, if he says like I don't know, if it was led up by him saying like Zora's unplayable or like if he was like super bold about he's going to win the entire thing, but that's not usually how I recognize him. Oh, I love the 4 Red Hawk. I think it's fantastic. He's not the only one who ran it either. A lot of Newgates were on 4. And I understand like why it can be clunky in hand, but like I think it's a good card. I think it's fine for the deck. Oh, we're attacking with blockers now? That's troublesome. Alright, get the poly to hand. I don't think he was on the 0-3. Alright, 10k. Just block with it, yep. Are we saving it? And we get out of that, and I think Bryce gets this one. I believe the Paraspero got Health Judgment, and that is that. All right, Bryce takes it with King, entering this tournament 1-0. All right. Start that timer, and we're going, and we're schmoving, and we're moving, and we're moving. All right, so we have Katakuri versus Law. Law goes first, plays Nami, passes. Katakuri passes. 5k with her Zoro. Always tempting to take these 5k swings. That card also don't matter right now. Look at the first card in life, deciding to take it. No trigger. Playing the Nico Robin for 3 and passing. Nico Robin, I think good in like the mirror match and also against other like Zoro decks too. I don't think it's necessarily as good in this matchup. It can get rid of like a Brûlé, so if like Brûlé was in life, that Nico Robin would be like a great immediate answer for it. But we're going to swing 7k with Katakuri effect, looking at the top card of our life, keeping it there, and passing, going 3 life for Law. And let's see what Nolan's choice is here. The big issue with Katakuri is that they do get like a lot of advantage, but they don't have a lot of board removal, which makes this matchup a little bit tricky for yellow in general. I think we're getting more and more removal cards, and but most of them are usually for taller objects than I'd say wider objects, or at least more objects. So where's King? You want to ride? I'm sorry. Have faith it will be in top 8, and we'll cover it then. How about that? Just have faith. Have faith in King. You rioting that you don't have faith in your own guy? Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Where is this? Aha. Alright, and Trafalgar Law a little bit early. But does get, like, for the full, it's fine. We do get, like, to restand, like, re-get the Nami effect, which is good. Obviously, like, the better play, like, the more popular play, I'd say, is getting out the Law off of your leader effect. Play it for technically only 2 and get some restands, but you're really fine. We're going to swing 7k again with Katakuri. Look at the top card of their life. Keep it there. And Calvin's going to see what his opponent saw. And there it is. Alright, and then for the big 5, we're going to play the vanilla there. Randolph. It's just a 5-7, but, you know, it is... We're still in the first year of this game, and I get it. But it is still impressive to me just how good vanillas are in this game. How much I can just see, like, a 5-7, or even worse, a 6-8 on the other side of that board and be like, man, I'm in a bad spot. I'm in a bad spot. We had, I believe, 84 players for this event. So we should have 6 or 7 rounds of Swiss into a top 8 cut afterwards today, which will be 3 rounds. So we should have 9 or 10 rounds total today. And top 8 will be best of 3 1-hour-long rounds, too. All right, and we've got 7 cards in hand for Nolan. Yeah, one piece all day. That is my plan. If I don't lose my voice by the end of the day, I've done something wrong. I've not been a good commentator. All right, another Randolph out of hand to get rid of it. 5k with lead again. Yeah, and this is like the other thing that Law's really good at. Katakuri is not fantastic about blocking a bunch of 5k swings. Sometimes it can be, and that's sometimes how like Zoro can get like a good matchup into it, but it's kind of rough. 7k with that Zoro, a little bit confident that, you know, being able to save it, and then a restand, and then another 7k. Very confident. I think I need a hype man. I'm the hype. I'm the hype. No, there's a couple characters in this venue right now. If they don't get top 8, we might have a co-commentator for these last 3 rounds. We'll see how that goes. I have the technology for it. We'll see if I need to break it out. We'll see. I've had a vacation for like the last 3 days, and even though a lot of the vacation has been walking around Seattle and like sightseeing, which is exhausting, I've got this energy for OP04. We got it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Red still doing well, but everything else also potentially doing okay. King winning round 1 definitely helps that a little bit, right? Yeah, and I mean, like, there are like some casino options where like Katakuri, I think we see a Thunderbolt in hand. If we saw a Thunderbolt like immediately hit like a Law or something out of life, that would have been fantastic, or anything. But so far, we've had pretty much like 3 misses from life for Katakuri, which is in this format quite rare. Quite rare. Quite rare. Not likely. Less likely. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I know. I'm multitasking right now. I'm almost done multitasking. Promise. Promise. All right, Rad Beam to save it. Wild. That means Calvin's just confident that Rad Beam will not need for the leader. I mean, you have 1 blocker up. Nolan not really being able to, establish a board has been really big. Right, leaving that top card in their life as well. And Kelvin having just a straight hand is great. Yeah, they whiffed the first 3, but now we have the 7-drop Lin, which I think Calvin is fine to like take the burn damage, and they can probably. It's always a gamble, right? Like, if the first 3 cards hit in life, didn't do anything, the last 2, it's like the gambler's fallacy, right? Like, something has to hit. But so you know what? I'm fine. I'm going to take the burn damage from the Lin. Go down to 1 life, and then either feel like they're going to bulk up on their defense enough next turn, or maybe just get that straight up W. As much as like giving your opponent the choice on what happens, I really do like this Lin. I think it's just such a boss monster. Like, it's such an annoying card to drop for 7. You get so much advantage for it. Alright, so that's going to be a 7k with the 5-drop Law from life, or from the star deck. A beige and something else to get out of it. Looks like we have about 5 cards in hand. 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand for Nolan. 2 cards left in life. Yeah, I mean, like, unless you're like at 1 life and you're worried you're going to lose next turn, then yeah, you normally always take the burn damage. I'd say that's like usually the more popular one, but it just depends on the situations you're in too. And then obviously if you're at 0 life, you take the burn damage. So like the Lin is kind of rough against Whitebeard because it generally doesn't do anything besides just be an 8k body for 7. But all right, they're continuous swinging. Only 3 cards in hand for Nolan. And very little Dawn usage left, like used. You can still use leader effect to restand or to play something for cheap. Oh, it looks like, are we gonna try to do 9k? Oh, 10k? 10k with blocker Law. Again, you do have to be like a little bit careful. You're down at 1 life. You don't have any blockers established elsewise, and there can be just some really hard like triggers in life for Nolan as Katakuri. And yeah, okay, 10-drop into Randolph. Interesting. Yeah, okay, Nolan's like, sure, yeah, it's gone. You got it. And then 2, another restand Law, another restand Law. And now the decision, do we attack with 10k again? Oh, we do. Unafraid of losing, which honestly with no Dawn open and no cards in I'd be a little terrified. I'd be a little bit worried that I would not be able to make this next turn. Alright, so 10 Dawn for Nolan, 1 life each, 4 cards in hand, sorry, 5 cards in hand. 10-drop could come down, but then I think you lose to all these 6k swings next turn. Because I don't think a 5k swing and an 8k swing will be enough. That's just decision. Honestly, I'd be a little bit passive. If I had 10-drop, I'd probably play it. I'd probably try to get rid of Curly to Dawn, and then maybe attack for lead after that. With because I think Calvin has like 7 or 8 cards in hand, so I know that an 8k swing and a 5k swing won't cut it. But then if we don't have 10-drop in hand, do we just go for game? Because with a 5k leader and 8k Lin, that's 13k power, and then we technically have 11 in hand. So we can have, I think, 2 12k swings potentially get it. Which might be enough. But there's, again, a chunky hand for Calvin over there. Yeah, 2 12s. Okay, all right. My math is not too bad. Our Twitch chat's math is just as bad as mine. Either or. We're in consensus. If that, the other thing we could do is you can go for board. We can try to get rid of their laws. It's not necessarily a winning move, but it's a move you can make. Yeah, this is the decision turn for Nolan. He's at a crossroads. Yeah, sorry. Kelvin has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 10 cards in hand. Is that right? 9 cards in hand. Yeah, so that's pretty unlikely. If I had 10 drop in hand and I was Nolan, I'd probably play 10 drop Linlin and then try to remove the Dradon and end turn. Yeah, if everything on average has 1k in hand, which is not too bad to assume for Law, you can get you have 14k of counter in hand. Which I think, based off the few cards that I was able to see as he fanned, I think that's pretty easy to get to. All right, it's time to go for games. So that was a 11k, and then, all right, 9, 11. That was enough, and that will be it. Yep, extra cards in hand for that. Calvin taking it. And okay, they did have 10 drop, and they also did have even 8 drop, and another 10 drop in life. Wow. All right, we've got Jason on Doffy versus Sean on Crocodile. There it is. I put Croc. That's very funny. It's Sean. That's very funny. Yeah. Honestly, though, okay, who do you guys think? Am I online? I'm right here. Am I online? I think so. We didn't drop it. It dropped a second, but I think we're fine. We are online right now, though. Yeah, they're setting up. I think Doffy might have the edge. You guys can correct me for being wrong, but I think the value that Doffy gets, the tempo, is better than like the removal that Croc gets. We'll have to see if that's true. But that is my 2-second insight. I think Croc has better matchups across the board, but I think Doffy has the edge in this matchup. We'll have to see. All right, you can tell them they're good to start too. Thank you. All right, and they are going. All right, looks like Doffy went first. Is usually what they want to do. No Perona turn 1, and then Croc is going second here. Those are some cute Dawn. I don't know why Charlotte Linlin's hanging out. We'll get rid of her. Looks like we're playing Kaya turn 1 to get some cycle. Interesting play. Interesting play. Doffy can play a board. That's true. If they see Pacifista, that's true. I think Pacifista can keep, even with it. I don't have any feeling one way or the other to outright say like, oh, Doffy's got this 100%. I think this could go either way. It's an interesting matchup, which I haven't seen in OP04. All right, are we good players? We are. We're Doffy mains. We didn't know that was on top of deck. Don't matter. It's like a 50-50 coin flip, and we were able to get it. All right, and his first card. Oh, thinking about it, but no effect there. No timer. There it is. this could go to time, but I'd be surprised still. And that is the Jinbei from the promo pack. It could technically bottom deck that Kaya. I don't know if that would be the case, but you could do that. 110%. It is a viable play. It's a legal play. All right, so 5 into either leader are... If it was to face, I'd probably take it. If it was to Jinbei, I would probably protect the Jinbei. Oh, and then bottom decking it with the 3,000 swords, a card that both decks have access to, and then passing it back to Jason. All right, so we still don't know the top cards of our deck right now. We're at 5 Dawn, so if we have Perona, we could figure it out and try to stack it. Our Doffy, but if we play Doffy, we won't be able to keep our turn, like, do it at the same time. And looks like just 6 to lead. Sean's going to 2K out with another Kaya. And looks like we're going to play a Gecko Moria. All right, just a big old vanilla. Per usual, vanilla is very strong. All right, going back to Sean here. They should be at 6 Dawn now. And, all right, so maybe 3 for Sentomaru. Nope, for Doffy. All right, that could help get you Sentomaru next turn. Looks like Sasaki, 3,000 Worlds, maybe a Soga King. I'm not saying exactly what's in hand, but something like those. Something like those in the top of the deck. All right, he's already got another 3,000 Worlds in hand, so he doesn't, like, need that. And I wonder if Jason, like, he had the choice between Pacifista, Blocker, and Gecko Moria. I wonder if the choice is Gecko Moria just to kind of maybe bait out some more removal on, like, the 3,000 Worlds or something, and then being able to, like, have Pacifista get its on KO effect a little bit easier. But no, leaving passing with 3 Dawn open. If they did have 3,000 Worlds, they could have used it, but decided not to. And that'll be it. So it looks like Jason will be going to 7. Jason, on the other hand, would have loved to see that 3-drop Doffy because they do not know the top cards of their deck. They did get lucky with the Jinbei hit, but you know, spending an extra Dawn to whiff feels bad always. Oh, we did find it though. Oh, that is such a good. I think it was a top deck. That looked like it was from either Life or top deck. I think that was a top deck. So 7K first at lead. Sean will probably contemplate taking this, but that just means that they're going to take another 7K from the leader swing. I'd be tempted to play the blocker, or hit the blocker on this because we know the second 7K swing is probably coming down. All right, but yeah, this is a Doffy. They get to look at the top 4 of their deck. That's 2 Kayas, a Gecko Moria, Boa, and a Red Rock. So probably putting either Gecko or Boa at the top, and then Red Rock the second card from there. Unless they have enough in hand that they don't really need the Red Rock in hand. We will have to see. We will have to see. All right, putting 2 Dawn early leader using the effect. Let's see what we get. 7 at lead, pay the 1, and we are getting another Gecko Moria. And these 6K bodies are really rough from there. Oh, okay. We're gonna 2K or use the new event card. It has a heck of a name, so I don't remember it outright. Let me see. It's Dragon Twister Demolition Breath. My apologies for not having that off the tip of my tongue right yet, but it's a good 4K counter. I think people have been using it more than Love Mellow. The fact that it can get rid of 1Ks is pretty, or 1-drops is good, and the fact that it has a really relevant effect in life is very strong too. All right, but it looks like we're at 4, 5, 6, 7 Dawn for, or it should be 8. It should be 8 Dawn for Sean. You know, some potential for some removal. Looks like just starting off with a 5K into their leader. And again, I'd say that usually like Crocodile runs more top end than Doffy, but I'd say like the pressure that Doffy's been able to exert so far has been very strong. Very, very strong. Yeah. Oh, hey, going down to 3 cards in life. All we're doing is a random raffles in-house here. It's crazy. Shout out to Zulu. Zulu's has been such a big proponent for card games here in the Washington area, and just like all the support they've given me the last couple of months have been great. So looks like a double 3,000. That's like 6,000 worlds over there. That's a lot of worlds, man. A lot of worlds coming out. So being able to bottom deck both geckos. Fantastic. And I gotta say, like, I'm a little bit on the party pooper train for like Croc just being viable but not fantastic. Even though I love playing the deck, even though I think it like there's a lot of intricate like choices you can have and plays, and we see this Mihawk coming down and bottom decking the 3-drop block. I think you should have blocked with Doffy sooner than later, because you know the removal could be coming for it. But just 5K, we're gonna use an ulti to get out of it, and that Mihawk is quite a sticky card on the board. There's nothing outside of a red rock that can get rid of this, which is a card that both decks can be playing, but it's a lot of tempo swing to get that out of there. And Mihawk has been, it's a little bit tough with 9 cost is a little tricky, especially since there's a lot of 2 cost events that blue tend to run and want to run. So it's hard to have, play him and not have those cards just dead in hand. But he hits the board, he stays for a long time. He's been in Queen a lot. We've been seeing a lot of the yellow-blue Queen in the set, and people using it. And it's a great. And the best thing about him is that, like in a mirror match or something, you can't remove him with himself, right? Like there's nothing that I think outside of Red Rock that blue can do to get rid of this Mihawk. Let's see. Oh, we do have a Red Rock in hand. That might have to be the play from Sean. Let's see. All right, 7K swing. I also wish that like Crocodile's effect was -3. -4 is so tough because there's no like really good 8 costs in blue right now, so it's hard to like do that and still have like a big boy play next turn. Like the numbers are just kind of a little bit weird. Yeah. All right. So you get rid of the blocker. You Red Rock the Mihawk away. You have 2 Dawn open, and you'll assumedly be passing it right back to Doffy. But this is kind of the scenario which, again, never seen this matchup played up, so this is new for me too. But I feel like Doffy is better at getting that value and has more card draw potential off its leader effect than like the amount of like tempo that Croc can do. But that's also because I'm 99% sure Sean is playing like a Pacifista Sentomaru type package, and they're just not seeing the pieces. Because that can make a huge difference. If they can play and establish and keep Sentomaro on board, they get so much value that, you know, Doffy kind of gets for free if they get the setup for it, you know? Now, I don't think Doffy's top cards of deck is set up for a leader effect right now. Because I think the top card on their deck, if I remember right, is probably a Red Rock. So we'll see. All right, playing another one. Okay. Oh, it was set up. Okay. They must have switched it at the end. All right, top 5. So we have either Boa, Pacifista. Pacifista feels the best. I mean, if Sean's able to establish a Mihawk of their own next turn, that's probably pretty strong. But it is asking for quite a bit. It just means that they can't, like, Red Rock. I mean, they can get Red Rocked away, like, in the mirror as well. Alright. Again, we have 7 Dawn up. We can use Leader Effect for 3 Dawn and then have an additional 4 Dawn to play a, you know, Warlord from there. Alright, so we're going to 7. Again, probably getting Pacifista. That was the card he put on top. Yeah, the Pacifista, which, again, I think... Or, sorry, the Kuma. And I think he has a Pacifista in hand. Going down to 2 life is Sean, so 2 life to 3 right now. And then playing... Oh, another one. Alright, so double bears. And I'm thinking we're out of 6,000 worlds. I.e. 2 3,000 worlds. Yeah, I think this has been pretty strong for Doffy, as we've been seeing. Alright, so Sean does have the full full 10 Dawn right now, so if you do have Mihawk, or even Kaido, Kaido would be a pretty strong play right now. I'll see if I can ask Sean where the Dawn are from, since you guys are asking. No promises. We'll see. Oh, 10 for Kaido? Let's see it. Yeah, alright, there he is. So that is a really big tempo swing for him. However, that is an outable card in this matchup. So you do got to be a little bit careful for it, but there it is. In official tournaments, custom Dawn are not legal, nor are custom leaders. This is a little bit south of official, so they're allowing it, but there it is. Oh, we're bouncing it back to hand. Okay, so I do like this if we have like no follow-up play that costs 10 next turn, because it just does alleviate some pressure, but we're still in a bit of a rough spot. Yeah, they used leader. You're good. They got there. Right, and just a 5 at lead. Only 4 cards in hand for Sean. And having, oh, this is a 2K to get out of it? Yeah, 2K to get out of it. Alright, 6 to Red Rock. Yeah, not too surprising there. 4 available to play probably one of your Pacifistas or blockers. Man, such a hand size difference for Jason. Such a like life difference too with 3 to 2. Way more resources, and now we only have 8 Dawn for Sean since he did the -4 last turn. Alright, and let's see. Let's see. So we've got 8 Dawn to work with. Do we have another 10-drop Kaido? No. Oh, Soga King. All right. All right, so we're just trying to go with the momentum game now. So that being able to bounce that back is great. We get a 6k swing with the leader. We get to draw 2, discard 2, so I still don't know how I feel about it. Soga King's like a nice like 2 of. The fact that it has counter, I'd rather it have like be a 6k with counter than a 7k with no counter. Because I guess a 7k with no counter would have made it like the same as essentially Doflamingo, which doesn't really see play anymore. Alright, getting rid of an ulti, and one more card's gotta go. But I think, you know, when decks are being as greedy as this current build of Croc is assumably is with so many uncounter cards in hand, Soga King does make sense to kind of alleviate that hand too. But yeah, 6k with Crocodile. Alright, 2k out, and it's probably going to be a pass right back to Jason. Yep. So Jason has only got leader swing right now. Blue's a little infamous for not really having a lot of capabilities for rush outside of the 4-drop Usopp, which no one uses. If someone made that card popular and was able to win with it, sure. But like, just doesn't really fit with the blue playstyle more times than not. Yeah, Soga King and Mihawk are going up in price, definitely. Crocodile's viable, and Queen. I know a lot of people are on Queen as well. So looking at top 5, putting Kuma at the top there. Any more rearranging from there? Looks like no. All right. And looks like it's going to be 7 on lead, paying the 1, playing the Kuma as well. I think we got 2 more Kumas in hand, so you got to know there's a lot around. And I'd be really tempted to take the 7k swing edge, which is what we're doing. Adding it to hand, and assumably passing from there. Oh, no, playing another Kuma. Or, okay, yeah, play another Kuma, too. All right. I mean, we're at 10 Dawn again. If we can establish another 10-drop Kaido, we're in a good spot. And 1 life, 10 Dawn now. And we'll have to see. Again, this is quite the grind. Crocodile does have like a lot of interruption and a lot of ways to gain tempo back. It's usually at a hand disadvantage, which again Doffy has a way to get a lot of advantage as well. But oh, did he top deck another 10? He top decked another 10 drop. Bounce it back to hand. That's crazy. So able to potentially clear board if they want to use leader effect again. Free 5k swing, free 6k swing. And a very strong 4 in there. And I wonder if this is swinging into the Kuma, and then they're going to bounce it back to hand or afterwards. But again, Jason has quite the hand advantage, about 7 or 8 cards in hand. But again, all that momentum on Sean's side. And we do see another red rock in hand to assumedly get rid of the Kaido too. Alright, 6k, not sure where it's going. Into life. No cards activated. And then -4 again. Alright. You guys are not seeing deja vu. Because I think we're going to see pretty much the same response to this as we saw last time. Only difference is Soga King is out there for like a little bit more of that chip damage. As a 6k body, you can't attack into it for free with leader. But we'll end up seeing what the decision is there. Again, a 12k body is quite the menace when you don't have any blockers established. Quite the menace. Yeah, this is quite the grind for a matchup. So again, Jason does have 10 Dawn. I think he has Red Rock in hand, which you will almost certainly want to Red Rock the Kaido away, right? I'd be very surprised if they decided to not do that. All right, 5K into Croc. We had 84 players today. So we have 6 rounds of Swiss, 6 or 7 into a top 8 cut. All right, 2K out, which feels a little bad. And I think only 2 or 3 cards in hand? Yeah, 3 cards in hand, yep. All right, Red Rock, we knew it was coming. We know this matchup. And for 4, yeah, playing another Pacifista. Going up to 8 Dawn with Sean now. And kind of the tricky thing you gotta, recognize and be cognizant of is that, Croc with the free removal for any of these blockers, it is at -4 Dawn, but you do have to be worried of the plays they get to do with that. Now, if you had like another Soga King again would be very, very strong for Sean. Very strong. Being able to get that tempo again, having a 5K swing into a 7K swing. Probably wouldn't even do the Soga King until after they, maybe block with it or try to establish a Pacifista. So just getting rid of the blocker outright is strong. Showing 3 Dawn then 5, so maybe trying to pretend like you have a Worlds. I think we see like a Sasaki, a Mihawk, and maybe some other things. I'm in a different room, but I'm trying to be careful about if I'm too loud, if I'm too hype. It looks like a 7K swing starts off, see where we're at. A little bit of a vibe check. All right, finally getting a blocker pop there, getting a 6K Pacifista out. And yeah, 7 Dawn to work with. I think they're thinking about doing the play. We'll see. Oh, they're holding on to 2 Dawn. No, okay, just full on 9K swing. All right, going down to 1. 1 life apiece. Again, tempo is on Sean's side. Looks like playing 3 for a, yeah, okay, another Doffy. Looking at top 5. And rearranging from there. And I think we finally see a Sentomaro that we've been, again, dodging in our deck all day. And it's really like, this also setup makes it different for what you could, if you can afford to -4 this turn, right? You used to go to next turn at 6, which is a little small on the Dawn department, but you can buy yourself another turn. Be a little bit less afraid of this Pacifista. But it looks like Sean is comfortable with how they left the top 5 of their deck and passed back. All right, so again, Jason's in like a really weird spot. Like the last couple turns, like he's been able to answer him, like even like card advantage, he's been winning for quite a bit on that side. But the tempo has just been controlled by Sean very well. The 10-drop Kaidos have been very obnoxious. The leader effect's been very obnoxious. And we'll have to see, only 1 life. Now it's a little bit of that scary territory where, these swings are adding up finally. And yeah, again, quite a decision. You got a lot of versatility. I don't think they know the top card of their deck, so any Doffy effect would probably be maybe blind. Actually, they might know the top card. It's been a minute, but they might play 3-drop just to confirm it. 3-drop blocker is fine, anyways. Yeah, it's stressful. There's just so much, you know. I would say as Jason, like, a little demoralizing because a couple of turns ago I'm like, oh, I've got so much tempo there at like 0 life, like, you know, 2 life. I've got such a, you know, capacity to do well, and now he's forced to he's attacking into the Usopp, which is, or sorry, the Soga King, which is a little bit bad, and a 2K to get out of it. Again, Sean's been dropping 2Ks all day. And they've almost all of them have been over counters. One second. All right, I had to do something real quick. All right. They're really grinding until the end on this one. All right. So we've established 2 blockers. We got a Gecko Mori off the top of our deck. We're going to go to 10 Dawn again as Sean. Yeah, obviously another Kaido or Mihawk would be very strong right here. Being able to probably bottom deck the... it's strong. If they're able to do that, get double removal with Mihawk and Croc leader effect, it's in a really good spot. Yeah, and here comes 9-drop. All right, 9-drop. What are we getting rid of? I'd be tempted to get rid of the Doffy blocker because it's the most expensive one, or like least expensive one. Which means if we bounce back Pacifist in hand, they have to spend, or Kuma back to hand, they have to spend Dawn for it. But Kuma can be troublesome. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, because it can also set up their life right or the top of their deck, which is important as well. And then I think you got a -4 unless you have like another Mihawk you want to play in hand next turn. But yeah, I think -4ing the Kuma is probably the play. All right, -4. Yep, putting that back into hand. And then we have probably a 5K swing from leader and a 7K from Soga King. Or a 5K, 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 or 5K, 5K, 6K with the Doffy if you want that. But I think a 5 and then a 7 is probably better. We'll see if he agrees. Looks like Sean is 5 at leader. Jason thinking. Again, that Mihawk, unless they have another Red Rock, has such a potential for it to go for game next turn. Just -4 with leader and then put 4 Dawn underneath it. Very strong. They, you know, establish another blocker. All right, 2K out. That feels great. And then 7K with Soga King. Unless again they want to, they're feeling ballsy and getting 5 on Doffy and then 6 to Soga King. Yep, and 7 in. The danger, though, too, is that I think there's a 3,000 sword in Jason's hand. If they want to go for game next turn, they are in their right to do so. Yeah, all right. It looks like they got out of it. And this could be it. Jason could potentially push for the win with only 1 card in hand for Sean and only a blocker to try to save you. Yeah, I think this is it. Yep, 7 at lead, which you know they can't get out of with 1 card in hand. What we got? Nothing good. And then everything on the Moria. And that is it. All right, Jason, after 30 minutes of gameplay, they will take that game. We have our next match, which I'm excited about, which is going to be Katakuri and Nami, both undefeated at table 1 here. And then we also, I did see that we have a Doffy, the King player is still undefeated too, which is quite exciting. We have green, purple Doffy still rocking it, and a couple other, I think we have like a Newgate and a couple other decks. So not 100% sure on the full undefeated spectrum. And even if they're undefeated right now, that doesn't mean that they get to be guaranteed in the top 8 top cut yet. But that is what they got. And Josh, they're good to start too. Thank you. All right, and they're gonna be going here. And here we go. So now I'm going first using Kai Effect, one of the better cards for this deck, being able to draw 2, discard 2. And getting rid of 2 Death Winks and passing it back to Anthony. Let me start this timer as well. How's Purple Yellow Croc doing? I did not see them near the top table, so I'm not sure quite yet. We'll have to see. All right. And we have Espira off the Puddin. And then, oh, okay, Sanji's Peel off to draw 2 more. Great card. Drawing 2. Who'd have thought? Great effect. In most card games. Very good. All right. And passing it back to Anthony there. 5 life to 5 right now. Obviously, I think this is a good matchup for Nami in the fact that you do have to be, like, a lot of the power from Katakuri comes from them being able to burn life and being able to get advantage from cards being hit in life. But without that, with Katakuri, you're a bit of a rough spot. You lose out on a lot of advantage. Oh, so we're actually using 3k worth of counter to get rid of the Kaya off the Struzen. Which makes sense. Yeah, the Struzen effect, being able to pop a 1-drop. You don't see it pop, things often unless like a 1-drop blocker, set up for game. But we got it there. And knowing that the Kai is good for that. And then also playing another 2k, the Aandroidd. Interesting. Aandroidd kind of like the bigger version of Struzen. Interesting to see them play it out right. But the way you do kind of approach this matchup as anything is that you just want more swings, not necessarily taller swings, because every swing forces a card out of hand or a reaction, and you do have like some taller ways to get out of it, but there it is. So 5 down to work with Victor right now. I mean, if you have Zeph, you can play it and pop one of those back into hand. I'd probably say Zeph is like the strongest pick right now if you have it, but you have to have it. Oh, I think he does. And I wonder what the hesitation is about playing it right now. Because again, if you're able to play it, then they kind of have to. They have to respect the Zeph. Yeah, Victor really really thinking here. All right, yeah, playing the Zeph. And I wonder if they're thinking about even bouncing anything back to hand, because that just means it's another 2K counter to potentially, you know, get that, you know, help you get out of this big swing potentially. Zeph being able to mill 7 off the top of your own deck is very good. Usually if you are able to establish and, like, yeah, the amount of advantage you get from, you know, one Zeph effect is crucial for some matchups. All right, and they decide nothing, so they don't want those extra 2Ks. And so it looks like we're at 6 Dawn for Anthony as Katakuri. We do have Sanji blockers that can help be obnoxious for these Zeph swings if we're really worried about it, but having to get, you know, rid of 2 2Ks in hand in the form of the Struzen and the Aandroidd means that there's probably not a lot in hand for counter. Like, it just removes a lot from it, right? All right. And putting that to the bottom. Off the search, going 8K. And what do we find? Ooh, a draw 2 off of the Impel Down All-Stars. Very good card to hit out of life. And then we playing 4 for Sanji blocker, perhaps? Yeah, we are. So that will mean that the Zeph is a little bit less confident of, you know, we always have like an emergency button in case they want to put a lot of Dawn underneath the Zeph to swing in, but it's not, it's more of like a, it's not a fix for this Zeph. It is just a delay of this Zeph. Oh, and is that a Brick Fist to put it back in hand? It is. So for 2, we put the blocker back in hand. We've got 5 Dawn to work with. I'd put at least 3 Dawn underneath that Zeph and see what happens. Yeah, that is, they agree there for Victor, so that is 10K. They're going to have to discard at least 3 cards from hand if they want to answer this. And they cannot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Good amount of events in there. A lot that you would rather have had in life, maybe the top of your deck. But I'd say Victor's probably about halfway through their deck at this point. And here's a question. This is maybe a ruling question. I don't know. Let's say you attack with Zeph and you're able, like the card you hit is Thunderbolt, and you get rid of the Zeph. Do you still mill the 7 or not? I don't actually know the answer to this. I'd have to read it, but I don't know the answer off the top of my head. Or if you hit like a jet pistol or something. When this character deals damage, because I think you deal the damage first and then it resolves, so it sees it first for Zeph. But I'm not 100% sure, actually. That might be a judge question, if you guys are aware. Because I think it does still do the mill, but I'm not 100% sure. So you dealt the damage to hit the Thunderbolt. So yeah, then you should get the mill, right? Is that what you're saying, Zarlin? Oh, okay. We Katakuri'd the Zeph back into life, which is strong. But that's also just another life that they have to get through. I'd be tempted to put the Zeph at the top just because like it doesn't draw cards, but maybe not. Man, what a wide hand for Victor here at Nami. All right, getting rid of... Oh, thinking about it. Okay, cool. That's what I presumed, but it's just a scenario I hadn't really thought about. All right, another Kaya. And I would say Victor probably has comfortably under 20 cards in their deck now. I don't know the exact amount. It's kind of a bit of an issue with being being like a streamer on this sense of it, but just not as open for it. Again, they do have to discard 2. And they're going to get rid of which 2? They do have another Zeph in hand as well, so it looks like Desert Spada and a Daz Bones. And then, yeah, Zeph to bounce back a Kaya. Get 2 more mills there. And have 2 Dawn open for defense. Are we playing Kaya again? Are we feeling greedy? We have 4 cards left in life, so we can afford to be a little bit greedy. But now it says passing back to Anthony, and now is Anthony. I'd be pretty worried about this deck out coming in the next turn or 2. They've got so much momentum built. And just the lack of playing vanillas and getting them. All right, discarding a Espira, because that's going to be dead in hand anyways. So you can attack into the Kaya and get rid of it, which is nice. Especially because that Kaya is a 0 power card. Yeah, the Aandroidd's, again, like, it gets rid of, like, it can answer Fossa, which is really nice. A lot of Newgate players are playing Fossa right now. And regular 1-drop blockers. For 3, being able to, get rid of their only blocker and attack for 7 is, or have 7 extra Dawn for attacking is usually pretty powerful. Alright, and yeah, hold 10 Dawn to work with. We know the card that they want to play, but is it the card that is the best to play right now? If you guys remember the beginning of the day, when I said if I didn't lose my voice by the end of this weekend, or by the end of this day, I'm doing something wrong. It's approaching. I'm feeling it. Stay hydrated. Never forget. Looks like a 10k swing with the Katakuri. Probably not on the Kaya. A little bit of over damage if that's the case. We'll end up seeing. All right, going down to 3 life. No trigger off this one. And look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. About 12 cards in Victor's life. He's got those glossy black sleeves, so a little bit hard to tell on cam, but not a lot. Definitely under 15 cards in deck. We know we have a Kaya in hand. We know that the Zeph swing could just go for it. I'd be very unworried about losing if they don't establish a blocker, right? The fact that they put 2 Dawn on Katakuri means to me that they're probably that they just can't play the 10-drop, right? It is a lot of momentum for Victor right now. I wonder if they're thinking about getting out of this. Are they swinging Pudding into Kaya and they're thinking about getting out of it? It's a little wild, but it definitely can work. And I see that there's an overheat in Victor's hand, so I'm guessing they were probably hoping to overheat that other Kaya back to hand. Oh, can overheat get suspended stuff? One second. It has to be active. 1 second. I jumped over there. But yeah, Kaya can be bounced back with overheat since he's suspended with Amande. So technically it should be that they played overheat. So they bounced it, they activated the card and they just chose the illegal target. So Kaya goes back and overheat is still played. And they get rid of it. They attack into it, yeah. Yeah, so it's still around, but they can attack into it. Yeah, judging and casting and doing production, you know it. Yeah, so that, what, they overheated out of it, right? Yeah, so what happened is that overheat, let me get the card out. He overheated the Kaya back to hand, but Kaya was not active, and overheat only bounces active cards back to hand. Yeah, return one active character. So overheat only gets active, and they suspended Kaya with Monde. Alright, so it looks like they rewound it a little bit. But overheat's still activated, they still got it out. Yeah, it's a weird, I'd say like overheat's not used a lot, and even in Nami they're not always used. Overheat also gives you the ability to subscribe to Eggman with your Twitch Prime for free. That's true. It's an older ruling, but it still holds up to the current FAQ. 100% allowed. Why is Kaya rested? Kaya's rested because of Amande. They discarded a Paraspero to rest it. My guess is they wanted to eventually attack into it, which I think they'll still get the chance to. Alright, what are we playing? Playing a Sanji blocker. Oh, they didn't get rid of the Kaya though. That's really interesting. They had these 1-drops and 3-drops to swing into it. I'm surprised they ended up trying to get rid of it. Because Amande can swing, Struzen could have swung, one of the puddings could have swung. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. All right. Yep, they put that back to hand, and we going for it. It doesn't look like it's going to make a difference either, but yeah, we had so many viable cards to attack with. All right, so this is 4 down or 5 down underneath it, so this is 11k into hand. Oh, having to take this. This is probably just game over then. Yeah, negative free. I flew out here. It was a vacation, so I can. It's fine, but we flew out here for a negative free. All right, we're playing the Daz Bones for 1, using it to get back. Probably, yeah, the Gum Gum Gavel, and 1, 2, 3, about 6 cards left in deck. Victor definitely has like another Kaya in hand. I don't think there's any way Anthony can get this at this point. I think it's about game over. Also, Captain Obvious with the subscription with Prime. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Thank you for using Overheat. Thank you very, very much. All right, yeah, looking very good for Victor. Hopefully he's okay. Looking like he's a little nervous. Or just exhausted. Who knows? All right, what we got here? What can Katakuri do? Yeah, both are 3-0 going into this round. All right, swing in a lot. We got 7 Dawn open, so yeah, whatever it was. Zeph is retired. Zeph is back on the Bardier. That's like the one, like any references like for VV and before, I got. Outside of that, I don't got as much. All right, 7K with the leader effect. Assuming they get leader, but we got, again, we have the gavel in hand. We know we have another Kai in hand. We play on the gavel. Yeah, gavel discarding. Yeah, Love Mellow, which we don't need. 1 and 2. And cards left in deck, very few, about 3 or 4. Yeah, I know pronunciation is not the best. I've got the spirit, okay? All right, and then now, yeah, if we have 3 cards left in deck, we draw a Kai and we win. All right, and all right, 4-drop Sanji, sure, why not? And we play Kaya because we have 3 left in deck. All right, Kaya, 1 and 2, 1 card left in deck. Oh, we have Rubber Band. Just pass, or you can just Zeph. Yeah, why not? Yeah, Zeph. Yeah. There it is. And there you go. Victor able to take it, milling themselves for 50, and going 4-0 into round number 5. All right, and here we go. We had Newgate go first. No 1-drops. We see a 1-drop turn 2, which means it's either from life or the top of the deck. Doffy passing as well, so starting the game technically on turn 2 for both players. Finding a very shiny card. Looks like an ace. Looks like a 7-drop ace. Yep, 7-drop ace from there. And swinging big old 8, going to take it. Going down to 4 life to 3 life for Doffy. And going to start with 4 Dawn for Ethan on their second turn. Yeah, it looks like Doffy is going second, so that is in Doffy's favor. I think if Doffy goes second, it's 55-45. Don't quote me exact math, but that's my gut reaction. All right. And we have a Zoro established. Not a Nami, but being a 6K means that you can pressure not only the Newgate, but any like Atmoses or anything else that you establish, which is pretty good. Getting 2 Dawn back because that is the Doffy effect. What a strong effect. I know like in Dragon Ball Super, I'm not sure how many people play that game anymore, but we've had 2 leaders that untap 3 at the end of turn, and they are just banned straight up. So Bandai is definitely aware of the power of these kinds of effects. You know, making a 4-life leader and making it only 2 maybe evens it out a little bit, but there's so much good 2-cost events that exist in this game right now. And going down to 2 life is Ethan with another 7K swing with the Newgate. We are establishing a 6K Atmos and then passing it right back to Ethan. So we should have 6 Dawn right now. A bit of like this is always like the weirdest turn because you don't really have like a great like best of card for this kind of slot. You have a couple options for it, and I do think I do see like the sugar in hand, which maybe they're trying to like interact with the Atmos and can also interact with the newest card they play, but instead just 6K with Zoro into Newgate. getting another Atmos out of hand to get out of it. A 7k swing with the Doffy going down to 2 life as Eddie, and then for 4, looks like we're establishing another Zoro. So passing it back after that, getting 2 Dawn back with Doffy effect, and it's Eddie's turn. Alright, they should be at 7 Dawn right now, so they can play the ace that they added to hand if they want to help get rid of this Zoro and apply a little bit more pressure. We'll see what they decide to do. I think ace is fine here if they want to play it. I personally would have liked to see maybe the sugar coming out, just because the pressure on the Atmos would have been, I think, a little bit stronger, and it would have prevented like an ace coming down for free too, even if they have the ESO to trade with it. Alright, Eddie is definitely thinking about here. Alright, putting a Dawn underneath leader, so no ace coming down. 2 life left for Ethan. This can be a... Alright, Punk Gibson on the Atmos. Very strong there. I think that was the play. Not recognizing or respecting that. Very good form there. And then establishing 2 blockers, one of them Marco. And again, like something I would say that green-purple Doffy has, like a ledge up against red against other decks, is that these blockers mean very, like, they don't mean as much. The amount of ways that you have to rest things with either sugar or, like, again, another Punk Gibson would be very strong. We're swinging 6k with the Zoro, assumedly into the Atmos to pressure that down. Okay, yeah, the second one is big enough. And now we can play 7, play a Luffy. Oh, I totally did not start the time. That's on me. We'll say it's 30. My apologies on that. It's probably closer to like 28. We're going to say 28. I'll get a better count. I don't think this game is going to time. See, also, Dwarf Commander with 32 months. Thank you very much. Alright, and then we're playing the 7-drop to play the 8-drop, or sorry, playing the Nami to get a draw card, and then untapping 2 and going from there. So this is the 9 Dawn turn for Newgate, so if they have a 9-drop, wouldn't be the worst play to do. You have 2 blockers up, and it would prevent us from taking that last card in life. But we'll see what Eddie decides to do. But yeah, being able to establish these 6Ks and keeping them around gets just so much free pressure against Newgate, and has been very strong so far. Yeah, and like at any point now too, like you were worried about a second Punk Gibson, it would invalidate either one of these blockers, and I think Newgate's in a rough spot now. Obviously, they I think again made the mistake of not playing around the Punk Gibson. Should have swung with Atmos probably first, but otherwise, okay. They have the 9-drop. It exists, just barely, but here it is. Here it is. So we have an 8k swing that I believe we got out of with a block with Luffy, and then 2k, and then passing it right back. So this is kind of like a weird spot because you don't really want to play anything. You don't really want to invest Dawn because, one, you know that they're not going to have another 9-drop. They're going to have to take the life for free next turn anyways. But ooh, the sugar. Okay, this play I like. This play I like, being able to just pressure down the Marco. And I think Eddie just has to realize that this Marco has to go, unfortunately. Because also, if they bring it back, if they bring back the Marco, I believe the sugar effect activates, and it can rest the Fossa blocker too. Because I don't think sugar says which turn. It just says when your opponent plays. Oh, it's only opponent's turn. It is only opponent's turn. Okay, okay, okay. My apologies on that. That'd be busted. But it's currently your turn. Still strong, though. Don't get me wrong. Just having this passive card that can rest Marco again. Yeah. My apologies. But yeah, it's still a very solid play. They're going to have a hard time getting rid of it. Obviously, no Red Hawk available with no Dawn active. And I think swinging this Marco is the best play. Because I think Eddies should not be blocking this. I think Eddie should recognize that this Marco is going to... Like, if you don't save this Marco, then you have this 8k leader your opponent has to get out of. Yeah, but Sugar can just... Sugar doesn't have to rest the card that's played. Sugar can rest anything. So if it worked on your own turn, you could bring it back. Like, if Marco comes back, you rest the Fossa blocker, and then you get a free swing into that. Yeah, I think they just have to let the Marco go. I think defending it is in a wrong spot. Alright, alright, playing a Queen, using the Dawn -1 effect to draw 2, discard 1. Getting rid of like Guild, which I think is strong. I don't think you're going to be able to establish and get value from it at all. It is also a 6k, which means it can be attacking with it too. And, oh, we're so confident we're swinging 7k with our Luffy in, which probably means we have a spider web in hand. So we'll have to find out. Yeah, leader is 8k. Yeah, so because of that, I think, yeah, the Marco finally goes down. And, like, look at all these cards you wasted out of hand to do that, right? I don't think it's worth it. I think you should just let it go, and then your opponent has to decide what they do next. Especially with Sugar on the board, too, right? Because even if it does live, then, like, whenever you play a card, you're, you know, immediately resting the Marco. But they did, they are going to attack with Newgate and get rid of the Sugar. Alright, so Sugar's gone. And we're going to Spiderweb and 2k to save the Luffy. And now it's restowed as well. Spiderweb. Brand new card. Very good. It's just like a larger version of a Paradise Waterfall. I greatly appreciate it. Alright, and then an ace. Okay, -3 to both of our Zoros. And I think we're going to go for the board clear route, which I think is going to have to go for. Okay. So 6k there, and then a 2k there to get out of it, and those Zoros are still living. This is a pretty good spot for Ethan and a pretty rough spot for Eddie. You get all these swings. You're still at 2 life as Doffy. You do only have 3 cards in hand, so that's a little bit terrifying. But if you have 10 drop, the 10 drop just wins you the game right here. Because you get all these swings. Yeah, 6k. Oh, yeah. And that is it. That is it. All right, Ethan winning it with Film Doffy here. All right. They're going. I remember to hit the clock button. All good things. Looks like they're starting off with a Perona, which is a pretty strong start for Blue Doffy, one of their best ones. Means they get to stack the top of their deck and do well there. And then we've got Josh going next. 2 Dawn open. See if we've got a Curly to Dawn. Well, looks like we got a Film Doffy in hand, which is very strong. Or Film Brook. Yeah, the Dawn, very strong play. Probably the I mean, outside of top end, like probably just the best card to facilitate searches and cards for that, just because like the one drop is, it just means that you get to guarantee a card, and that Otama being able to be played and help you get rid of whatever you get off the top of your deck with Doflamingo is, you know, equally very, very strong. All right, using the leader effect, what deck? What do we put on top of our deck? A Pacifista. Okay, so sorry, Kuma. Jeez, maybe I needed that extended break in between Swiss and Top Cut more than I knew. But being able to play that, but just being able to pressure say, you know, you could get rid of this card, but then I get to play a Pacifista for free, which is a 6K, which is harder to get rid of. You know, outside of maybe a Gecko Moria, probably the best card, or maybe a Jinbei. Gecko Moria, Jinbei. I think Kuma is a pretty good card for the top of the deck there. So going down to 3 as Josh, and then going back, we're having a 5K swing, assumedly into leader. Yeah, Jason taking it. And then for 4, we're playing a Brook and playing a Zora. What a strong play. One of, if not the best target for that Brook right now. Those are a little bit tricky cards to get rid of. And already 2 cards established for our Law player. Yeah, that Brook is kind of like newer tech. There's not a lot of tech for Law anymore, but it's still skewed on like the newer side. And looks like Jason's looking at top 5 again. I think I see some Mihawks in there, which you'll want to probably eventually draw in this deck. Okay, rearranging it the way that they want. And we can do a big old 8K swing. Looks like we're going to do 7K. Pay the 1. Oh, not paying. Interesting. Interesting. So saying that I'd rather them hit my face than anything else. Oh, R into my Kuma, so 7K there. A lot more pressure than probably Josh was expecting from this turn. And now you're in a bit of an awkward spot where, like, you can either attack into Doffy and they get more card draw themselves, or you attack into their Kuma and then they get to potentially play a Pacifist. I mean, at this point, if, like, Jason is, you know, bluffing that he's got Pacifista in hand, he's just doing a really good job. It is in hand, but don't worry about it. All right, so going down to 2 cards in life still for Josh. I think he counted out of that one with an Otama and a Dodon. But there it is. All right, we've got 6 whole Dawn to work with. Should be enough Dawn to potentially play 2 bodies and use your Law Shambles effect. But we're going to start with a 5K into Pacifista, and I think we're going to take it. Oh, we're going to leave it around. Okay, interesting. Are we pretending like we don't have it? Interesting. Josh is thinking again. If Jason does win this match, this is their last round of Swiss. Otherwise, Josh will be fighting either Nami or green-purple Doffy in the Swiss finals, which will again be into a top cut afterwards. Josh really thinking here. Again, if Josh does lose here, he's pretty much guaranteed to be in top cut still, so not a huge issue. But all right, attacks into it with a 7K with that Zoro, being able to play the Pacifista. So looks like the counter management that Jason did work out based on Josh's plays. But man, Bonnie being able to find a Law, as long as Josh has a 1-drop in hand, they're in business, which I believe we do. So it looks like one for Chopper, and then using leader effect to bounce back either Chopper or Dodon to probably play the Zoro, or to play Law and use Law effect to bounce the Bonnie back, to play maybe Nico Robin. What are we playing? Oh, another Dodon, so looking at top 5 once again for a 1-cost red card. This is what Law players love to see. And finding another 1-drop blocker, you're in business. And hitting 5 into life, and going there. All right, I think Jason is doing a good job at like making it so like he does kind of, if he wants to maintain tempo, he does have to hit into only Doffy itself, which I think is strong. I also will admit there's not like a lot of great attack targets right now. The Zoro is a 6k, we have a 6k blocker as Law, and the 5k Brook is probably the best card to attack into if you want to do some board clearing, but definitely some good momentum already from Josh. All right, for 4. All right, 3,000 worlds away the blocker, very strong. Got 3 Dawn left, and we could potentially know. We know it's on top of our deck as Doffy as well. Unless they just bottom deck the entire stack, which I don't think happened, but I may have missed that. I don't think they did that. I think they should know. I think they rearranged the top of their deck. Because 7k into Zoro into Brook right here could be very strong. They could also maybe try to pressure down the Zoro if they want to. Oh, just 5. Okay, so not using leader effect still. Alright, Robin out. I mean, we could do like a 5k Perona swing. If we really want to get that push of damage. That is true. Okay, 5k into Brook. Really just wanting to starve them out of those resources. And we see Josh not immediately finding a card that they want to get rid of hand too. Usually meaning this is a good call. And then Chopper to block that Pacifista swing. Yeah, we'll see if that's correct, but it definitely kind of put Josh in like a weird situation where they are losing cards in hand, and Doffy's got, you know, a bit of that advantage there. All right, so we've got, I believe, 8 Dawn right now. All right, and yeah, so we had Bonnie, or sorry, the Dodon attack into the Perona, getting rid of it. We're having an 8k Zoro with the extra Dawn underneath it into Pacifista, so that's, you know, asking for at least 2 cards out of hand. Are we thinking of 6k with Brook? Alright, instead we're playing Bonnie first. And you know, when I first saw this Zoro card, I thought it was bad. And it's still sometimes bad, don't get me wrong. I still think it's bad. The fact that it's a 3 cost that doesn't have any counter, but at the same time, in Law, at like a couple copies, especially if you're already playing the Brook card, it is very strong. Just once it's established on board, once it gets to be there, you are very happy with the card. It's very easy, a 6 or 7k. And, you know, 7k on offense, 6k on defense is very good. It's very good stat line for this card that's very searchable after being a Supernova, a Straw Hat Crew, being able to be restood by 5-drop, A supernova that you can find off Bonnie that's red can be helpful too. And looks like we're going to be using our leader effect. We're going to play there. We're going to bounce back the Dodon once again. If we got the restand Law, Jason's in a bit of bad news bears territory. Specifically the bear that's going to be hit again with 8k and it will get removed. And then 5k with the Brook going down to 2. And 5k with leader. Oh man, this is so much momentum now for... Alright, Jinbei out. Yeah, so much momentum for Josh now. In a really bad spot is Jason. So we are at 9 Dawn now. Alright, so yeah, Perona getting rid of the Bonnie. Easy trade there. We are at 9 Dawn, so this could be potentially the Mihawk play turn if we have it. I think there's only like 5 cards in hand for Josh, which is quite low for kind of Law, when they usually get so much card advantage by bouncing their cards back and reusing their draw effects. But yeah, 5 into Brook and then maybe playing Mihawk to get rid of the Zoro is probably pretty strong. I don't know if getting rid of the Law makes more sense, because it's a 6k all the time, but yeah, maybe getting rid of the Law is probably better. Counting cards in the trash, seeing how many 2Ks they've already used as well. I'm assuming we see, I think, 2 Kayas and I think a third, like, Mihawk as well. Oh, looks like we also have the Red Rock. If we don't have Mihawk, Red Rock can get some damage in, too. Oh, and Gecko Moria. Oh, but you just can't Moria and play Red Rock in the same turn. That's so rough. Yeah, you have to kind of have Mihawk here. Mihawk would definitely be I think the strongest play you could do. And just in that, I think you've got 20 minutes. You're not pressing time. You can definitely give a minute or two to think about your plays and what you want to do. And it looks like the play is doing a big old 8. At this point, I would be very tempted to just use leader effect, even if we don't know it's on top of there, just to maybe get the free swing there. But 8 into, my guess is either the Brook or whatever it is, Tony's going to take one for the team. And I think we're going to try to Red Rock away. Yeah, we're going to Red Rock away the Law. That's fair. And we'll go from there. So it looks like only 3 or 4 cards in hand for Jason. Law's got a lot of momentum here. He's got a board as well, and I think more cards in hand. And we'll have to see what the response is. I don't think, like, you know, Doffy doesn't generally have, like, superb cards in life. They've gotten a little bit better with, like, Red Rock and 3000 Worlds, and maybe even, like, the Dragon Twister, that if they may or may not be running, we saw it in Croc earlier. I don't think we've seen it in Doffy yet, but... Alright. Dodon to find a Nami, which is fantastic. Per usual, a Searcher that finds a Searcher in a deck that wants to spit out as many bodies out as possible is very good. That's why it's been good in Zoro, why it's been good in Law, and why, you know, it will continue to be good in both those decks. Yeah, and looks okay. So we have the Bonnie looking at top 5. We get immediately that Law. That's probably going to be it for that. That seems like a clincher at this point. Because now we know that we have a Nami we can play for 1. We can bounce back the Nami to play the Law, to bounce back the Bonnie to play. If we find like another 3-drop Zoro in here, we're in a good spot. Alright, even bouncing back Bonnie to play Chopper is a good spot. Just means we have 2 blockers up on board. And very strong. All right, 5 into 2. Easy clear. All right, 7K in the lead. I think we're going to have to unfortunately take this. All right, no trigger in life. 1 card left in life for Jason here. And is that a fiery doll? Or is that just a Nami? It has to be just be a Nami, right? Okay, 6 at lead. All right, we double 1K out, which feels bad, including one of them being Moria that we really want on board. All right, we're going to use our leader effect to get back either Nami or Dodon. Looks like we're choosing probably Nami. Playing back Log, out, bounce back this, and probably playing Nami again. Or Chopper. I think Chopper is probably the one that makes the most sense. Yeah, Chopper. And, yeah, whew. Have you guys heard about Law, this deck, this leader? He's pretty good. A little bit on the off-meta side, but he's been showing up every once in a while. Get some tricky plays like these, and now you're 10 on with Doffy, got 1 life left, and you're like, what do I do here? What is my play? It seems so uphill. They've got 2 blockers. They've got more cards in hand than me. They got more cards on board on me. They've got more cards in life than me. What do I got going for me? We got Kaido. Yeah, that's an 8 card. We got 10 drop Kaido. We play the card. We attack into Brook. We try to get rid of it. We probably get out of it. Bouncing 2 cards without counter in hand is pretty strong. But, you know, even at this point, what, 2 cards in hand? Put 2K on Brook? Yeah, even 1K. Yikes. And then 9 on Law? That'll do it. Put 9 on the, what, the Chopper if you want, if you don't respect your opponent. Who do you want to win? Law? The Dawn? Okay, alright, we respect. We respect. Yeah, the Brook Zoro did get a lot of value, 100%. 100%. And I do think, like, just the fact that we found, like, it's a green card that Nami can find on the Brook too. Oh, our next 3 cards were Mihawks? That's insane. That is insane. Alright, they're good to go. And they've started in Law going second is pretty rough for Ethan. Ethan, I would say, on green purple Doffy normally wants to go first, or wants to go second, rather. So being that off curve feels a little bit bad. Yeah, we got the timer. We got there. We got there. Normally I like to be a little bit better, but it's me doing everything today. Commentary, production, and everything in between. So apologies for that. Potentially suboptimal. But there's that Sugar. As I'm saying, that card can, in my opinion, be a matchup changer. Not only getting the 1 removal of that Dodon with the big swing there, but additionally being able to, whatever card they play, you can trade into now as well. Love that Sugar. Alright, playing the Nami. And the only moderately upset thing is that Sugar is not optional on its opponent's turn effect. It's whenever they play something. So yeah, obviously they're going to attack into it and get the removal there, but now you get a free swing into their 1-drop Nami here as well. Get that additional removal for them. They're going to play their other 1-drop Nami from OP04. Look at from there. I think we saw a Brook and maybe a Chopper from there. Oh, that hand is nothing but gas, though, if they're able to establish it. That's a very good hand for Josh. All right, getting the Brook 2K. All right, playing the Dawn for 2. And looking at top 5, finding an Otama. And going from there. So yeah, you will be able to get rid of the Nami here if attacking into it with leader, which is quite strong. Looks like they have even another Sugar in hand if they really want that value. But yeah, 5 into 1, or sorry, 6 into 1. Get the removal, getting a Zoro out. and then 2 Dawn back at the end of the turn if they remember it. You kind of have to remember to do it. Yeah, you kind of got to remember that Doffy effect. I don't know if it's going to be a big... there we go. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. Is Doffy optional? Let me see if that guy is optional. I think it says up to 2, right? I could be wrong. Up to 2, yeah. So you can choose 0 if you forget. He forgore, he did forgore. Yeah, 100%. You do need to do that because it says up to, so it is optional. This is last round. This is last round of Swiss, but we will have a top 8 cut. So we do have 3 more rounds after this one. Again, we had 84 players battling into that top 8, so about 10% getting in there for the highly coveted boxes that they have here. I think OP04 is finally like the set where product, like supply and demand, are in like a happy medium. I know there's a lot of people who are wanting this product and they're able to find it. All right, top 5 with Bonnie. All right, getting a Trafalgar Law. Also, Teddy with the subscription. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. You want to see Whitebeard win? I think Whitebeard might get into the top 8. We'll see. Whitebeard has not had a good history of winning today, but we'll see if it happens today on this stream. Alright, and we're passing there. We got the full board, which feels real bad. We're going to do a 5K swing. And yeah, Josh will gladly take that. If we have another sugar in hand, I'd be tempted to play it. But like now that they've set up their board and have established, sugar does not as much. I will agree with that. Yeah, alright, Luffy to play another Zoro. Fine enough. That does work. That is viable. And having a bunch of 6K bodies is usually pretty strong. We have 2 Dawn open again, so like Punk Gibson or something like that can be impactful. But I don't think it's any surprise to say that, you know, Josh with Law is having more of the advantage right now. Yeah, they definitely could have played Uta as well, but just deciding outright to not to. Going down to 3 life is Doffy taking the card. See, Josh is thinking about it. 7 at lead. Which would force a block and a 1K. Alright, and getting the Uta out of hand. Then for 2, we're going to get Nami back to hand to play the Restand Law that we knew was in hand already. And this is another 9K swing there. Alright, and Thunder Bagua, which will get the ramp, which is actually pretty strong. And an extra 1K to get out. Alright, we've got 10 Dawn to work with, which is the Doffy number, but you only get 2 cards hit with that. Which is a little bit of a shame. But if you do get a block early with this Trafalgar Law, it does mean that you do get to get the additional punish there. So 6k into Zoro, 6 to 6. Zoro into Zoro. Alright, getting Brook out of hand. Another one. If you have 2 or less life, which Ethan does have 2 life. That's correct. Yeah, Thunderball was only if you have 2 or less life. Right? He has 2 life? All right, you've got 10 Dawn. What do you want to do with it? I think Josh has understood that, 10-drop Doffy could be coming down, which, yeah, it is coming down. So resting 2 things is fine, or keeping them stunned is fine. Not the triple value that you want, but that Zoro is pretty good at swinging, so that does get rid of that. And again, like, identifying that if you do block with your Trafalgar Law blocker, then it does get stunned as well. So I think that's great. Yeah, no worries. If I generally try to do life counters when I can, but they're just, when it's just me today, not a shot. Not a shot. They'll just be outdated for most of the time, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather have no counter than constantly incorrect counters. All right, Nami for 5, getting a guard point. Which is strong late game like this. All right, and considering what we got, we've got a lot of possibility here. And the strongest thing is that, like, Punk Gibson only hits 4 or less, and these laws are 5 cost, which means they're less affected by that. And by less, I mean completely unaffected. And Ethan just going down to 1 life. And with 3 cards left in life for Josh, I'd be, again, very unworried about it. We do have a 7-drop Luffy blocker as well. And looks like deciding to just maybe pass? Is that correct? I don't think that's correct, right? Passing with 2? Oh, no. Okay, sorry. Swinging in. Swinging in. Okay. With just 5? That's not right, is it? Oh, this is danger territory if they do end up having the Luffy that bypasses blocker. They do have 3 cards that can be stunned now. We do know there's guard point and 2 Dawn open as well. I'd be very surprised if Ethan could successfully go for game there, but there is a possibility of that. Oh, I restood the law. Okay, my apologies. It's been a long day. It's entering hour number 6. We've been alive for 5 hours. Yeah. Okay, my apologies. Yeah. So restood. So it was another 9k swing, which means that it would have been a 2-drop event and another card. But just going 5 with lead. Okay, Nico Robin out of hand. That card's pretty bad in this matchup. mean, if we have another 10 drop, we can definitely play it. We've got 3 cards that are stunned right now. And eventually, too, like, if they do block with Law and then save it, then that means you can just be opened up to attack into the Zoro and then stun both the blocker and the, like, you know, there's 3 cards that can be stunned right now, right? And yeah, there it is. All right, 6 in the lead. Another 2K. A big old 10. Down to 2 life is Josh. No life for Ethan. Be moderately tempted to block this with Zoro, but with Law, but at the same time, I think you're fine. And I'm really surprised they kept the guard point to not get out of one of the swings. Because you could have gone out of both Zoros, but and, you know, very menacing too, just to see 10 Dawn open on that other side. But I think the thing that's okay, going down to 1. There he is. All right, 3 stun, but you have at least 3 attacks this next turn, and I would argue that, you know, Law is affected by this less than other decks. It is still affected, obviously. Being able to get out of 3 swings next turn is pretty big, but when you have 0 cards in life and only 1 blocker, and there's already each of the other Laws in hand, or out on board, that's pretty intimidating. And yeah, I think this is correct. So 5K swing, get the sugar out. And looks like we do have potentially another restand Law as well, so this is going to be 9K. Yeah, so we can block. Oh, we didn't. That was an extra. Why did we do that? We just needed Spiderweb, right? We didn't need the extra 2K. Right? I could be wrong. Right? Did I miss something? As he blocked like the, they made it here. They should have gone out here anyways. I might have missed the sequencing for it, but it looked like something was awry. But we've got 2 10K swings, 2 6K swings, a 5K leader swing, and 10 Dawn to work with. This is who's a GG for? I also don't think Josh recognized that they could have gone 7K for game. I think with the 5-drop blocker Law. They would have swung with that, they would have won. It was 11K swing? Okay. It was 11K swing, that makes more sense, but I think at that point, if you went in that deep, that the Trafalgar Law blocker should have. Right? 7, 10, 10, 10. Okay. I thought it was less than that. It looked like there was only like 3 cards underneath the 6K. All right, so 9K swing, recognizing the fact that there is a guard point in hand. All right, double 2K out. Another 9K. Which means you have 10 Dawn open, so then you can do 2 10K swings and 11K. Or 8K, sorry, yeah. My apologies. I do need this break afterwards. All right, so 8 and then 9. I will need like a little refresh. All right. Ooh, another 9. Get some coffee? Maybe. All right, 11. Block it, and then one more 11, and that is it. You've got 5K, so you can get up to 10. 11 is too much. So we've got this here. We've got our finals. It's going to be Katakuri versus Green and Purple Doffy. They're starting off. Ethan is higher seed, so they're going to be undefeated. I'm going to let them know they can start, and we'll have our finals set up. So can you let them know they can start, Nico? Yeah. Oh, good to see you. I'll see you, Pasadena. See Nationals? Okay. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Nico's peacing out. Not AZ Nico, but WA Nico. And we'll be starting here as well. So, again, finals match. They can start. We are back. We are here. Finals. No top 8. They're splitting the case. Not too surprising, but we do have this first place, which includes being able to choose the design for their next grand bounty. And here it is. So again, it's going to be Katakuri versus Doffy. I think both decks, I think, pretty well understood and represented. Also, for people who are interested on the leaders who did get into the top 8, we had a couple of wild cards who got in there, and I will be doing a top 16 breakdown for this as well. But we have we had the King was able to get in there with 7th place. Bryce was on there. Victor was able to get top 8 as well with Nami. And then we did also have Nico with Film Doffy, another Film Doffy here, and then also Justin with Law, Choza with a Newgate, and also three Film Doffys, my goodness. And then also Trafalgar Law. It looks like they're starting up their opening hand. I can start the timer now. Not that the timer's going to really matter. We're going to let them play out. King meta? I know, right? Yeah. Also, yeah, for the website, I literally have no idea why it gets flagged for phishing. Like, literally none. It gets no data from you. You got to trust me on that. So, that is there. Who is in first place? So, first place going into this was Ethan with the green purple Doffy. They are undefeated into this round. They get to decide who gets to go second. And who gets to go first. And I would assume that they'd want to go second themselves. There's the fist bump. We're starting. David going first. Do we see the pudding turn 1? And it looks like we do. So looking at top 4, we get the 10-drop Big Mom. Going to help us out there. Pass it back to Ethan. So 2 Dawn open, and it looks like just an immediate pass. Not too surprising. Outside of a sugar, not a lot of business there. And yes, there was a King in top 8. We will get the top 8 list, if not the top 16 list, on my website tomorrow morning. Rebecca, I think, got into top 16, but I don't think it got into top 8. It definitely did not get top 8, but maybe top 16. I do know that it was X1 going to the final round. Played against Nico on green purple Doffy, and they did lose. All right, 5 at lead. All right. Ethan taking it, going down to 3 life, and then a big old 5K swing from Pudding. It's tempting to take it. We'll see what they decide to do. All right, using a 4-cost Aura, which they could have played this next turn. Going to 4 Dawn. All right, 5 at lead are just not recognizing that Pudding as a threat. All right, something out of life, thinking about it. All right, it's going to be a Sanji there. I'm going to play it, discarding the Shirahoshi. And then playing the Nami to look at top 3 of the deck for the film. And we do see at least 1 film card in there. So it should be good. Yeah, that's Sanji blocker. Probably one of the best cards. I keep thinking it was a rare when I see it, but now that I've seen it in action and see it being played, it is definitely worth being a super rare. It's a very, very strong card and very obnoxious card to play around too. All right, and David is thinking here. We're going to have a 7K swing, 8K with leader effect. Look at the top card in our life, deciding to keep it there. I mean, if we were able to use leader effect, we definitely, I think, would have put Sanji at the bottom of our life too. So, like a little bit of a misfortune leaving it like that. But, actually deciding to put it at the bottom of the life. All right, going down to 2 life as Doffy here. Playing a Peckham's. We got Peckham's in the house. Really good to kind of, curve out on these off curve plays, and seems strong enough. So another 5K out on board, nothing to really attack into. Sanji blocker still there, and now 6 Dawn for Ethan to play with. Yeah, there won't be any top cut, just finals. Top 8 decided to prize out, or split the case. So these guys are playing out for they're not only their share, but there's like a first place gets to decide who gets to make the new mat for this next one. All right, and 2K out of that swing. 5K with leader, taking that going down to 3, and then playing the guild. Guild's pretty strong in the fact of that card draw is really important for you. Sometimes it could be a little bit clunky with the -2, especially since you do have a 10 cost card you want to try to get to, but is very strong. Right, Ethan is passed to David. Has 2 Dawn open for your fantastic 2-cost event card plays. All right, Peckham's into Nami. And I think looking at, Spiderweb for 2 to get the restand Nami, which means it's a little bit harder to get rid of. You are tapped out now, though, so 7 cost for Katakuri. Look at the top card, leaving it there. We do know the bottom card of life as Katakuri. All right, and then playing the Espira 6/8 vanilla, which I'll say it every day. Every day. These vanillas, especially having searchable vanillas in the archetype, is just very, very strong. 5K into Peckham's, try to get rid of it. I think you're good to let it go, yeah, and David agrees there. It is 8 Dawn, so if you do have 7-drop Luffy, it's the time to play it. 5K, looking at top 3 to maybe search for more pieces. We do find a 2K block, or 2K chopper. Getting a 1K out of hand. 6K with Guild, deciding not to use the effect, it seems. And there, we definitely have the 7-drop Luffy in hand. There it is. All right, so for 7, we get to play from hand. We play another Nami. We don't have the Dawn open for it to use its effect, but then 2 Dawn open. And now this guild, as long as we're able to protect it, which shouldn't be too difficult to do, is fine. The probably best removal is either a Thunderbolt, which would go down to 1 life for David, or a Katakuri, which would put it in life, but that also just give more life and more time for Ethan as well. Yeah, top 8 ended up splitting, so we're only doing finals now. The plan was for top 8, but they decided to split the case instead of play it out. Which, my apologies for advertising that so much today, but if they don't want to play, it's how it is, and I respect that. It is getting late here on the West Coast. It's definitely late on the East Coast. I'm okay with getting home a little bit early, and by home I mean back to where I'm staying. Let's see, will Punk Gibson the rest the blocker? Oh, that's so powerful. All right, and then Yamato, we have 3 Dawn, so I guess the Nami, but man, that's looking good for Ethan. All right, that Yamato, I don't know. What do you guys think about Yamato in Katakuri? I'm not convinced. I think it's good, definitely in Queen. Unsure about how I feel about it in Katakuri. All right, and but that 10-drop is doing work now. So we put the 10-drop Doffy there, being able to stun a blocker, an 8 cost, and their leader. We're doing 6k. We're going to Dawn -2 to be able to draw 2 cards. This is where Doffy feels very good. Almost 4 a.m. in Europe. Yeah. Oof. Shouts to your European viewers. All right, and 1 life for David. We got a whole bunch of swings coming in. We doing the 10-drop. We're doing the 10-drop play. That's fair. Burning a sugar. And we have a single 9k Yamato attack. That's probably not enough. And also, I mean, you know, you can play the casino. You can get some good luck with Katakuri, but these 2 life has to be amazing for you to be able to do the work that you want to with this. Like a blocker only does so much. It does less, I think, in this matchup. Beige should probably buy you a turn if they don't swing at the right times, but I think definitely this game is in Ethan's side right now. The amount of cards that they have in hand. All right, 9k in the lead. And if you want to be super safe, there are some plays you can do. Yeah, Spiderweb and Zoro to get out of it. I think if you want to be safe, you just get rid of their Sanji, and then you 10-drop and leave the Luffy off, and they just can't do much. I mean, I guess they can play another 10-drop, but I think you get more value from it. All right, so Ethan's staying here. I think the first thing you do is, if you swing with anything, it's a 10-drop Doffy. 100% in my mind. 5 cost again. Like if they have like, I think a lot of people who get countered by yellows, they don't respect the possibility of beige, because we definitely, like, David knows the bottom card of their life because they put it there because of the Doffy or the Katakuri effect. I think you got to swing with 10k. Swing with 10k right now, because high chance there's beige at that bottom. I don't think it's going to matter at this point now, but oh, he's thinking. Swing with Doffy. You can do it. Oh, oh no, come on. No. I think this, I don't know, this is probably fine, but is it beige? Okay, it's not. All right. Whenever they put a card to the bottom of their life and they know what it is, it's so scary. But Ethan takes game number 1, continuing their undefeated streak in this tournament, and he's got to win 1 more to be the supreme champion for today for us, for Zulu's Grand Bounty. There it is. So we got shuffling happen. We're going to get for game number 2. Katakuri will presumably be able to go second, which is, I think, better for them in that matchup. The curve is definitely better. And I don't think Doffy does as well with that off curve, but it is there. So we'll have to see. Again, Ethan just has to win 1 more, and he is our champion today. And there it is. I do think this is definitely a winnable matchup, though, for Katakuri. They do get that benefit. I think 10-drop Big Mom can do a lot as well. But, you know, being able to have the blockers and having the good defense is there for it, too. So we'll have to see. And both leaders and both decks, have topped, the first regional, the Knoxville, this past weekend too. So not outrageous for either of these decks to be meta. And I think both of them are maybe like tier 1.5. I don't know if, Katakuri could be tier 1, depending on who you talk to. If it's me, it is. Green Purple Doffy is tier 1, depending on who you talk to. If you talk to me, it probably is. I'd say outright Katakuri could be, I think, better matchups overall, but Doffy definitely deserves to be in this meta. Let's see. And so looks like Ethan's not happy with their opening hand, so they're going again. And looks like David is still considering it. All right. Yeah, David's still considering their opening hand. All right. David's finally deciding they're okay with it, and then Ethan getting their mulligan hand, going to 4, since they're multicolored. And they're going into game number 2. All right, Ethan, 1 Dawn pass. David, 2 Dawn pass. Ethan, 3 Dawn, attacking 5 into leader. All right. Looks like it's a 2K Sanji. Playing the Nami, even though you don't get the on-play effect, you do get to establish a body and have 2 Dawn open thanks to the leader effect. All right, and looks like, big 10K. Putting a card from the top of our life to the bottom. Taking the hit. And looks just real unfortunate for David. They must have not have kept that hand. They must have mulliganed and just not liked it. All right, 5K with Doffy once again. All right, getting a 1K. I believe that's a Pero Sparrow. A little bit of glare there. And then playing a guild for 5 and passing. Putting 2 back up. That guild is, again, very strong. A little bit awkward, but in this matchup, it's usually pretty expensive to get rid of and gets so much advantage for Doffy by just being around. All right, another 5K swing. Or sorry, 7K swing. Looking at the top, putting it at the bottom as well, so we know the bottom 2 cards of our life. All right, thinking about activating the trigger, it seems, which probably means it's a Thunder Bagua. Thunder Bagua would put you back on even curve, which is generally where you want as Doffy. But it looks like they just decided to take it, whatever it was. We played the Randolph, which is the 5/7 vanilla, and then we're back here. 1K out of the 5K swing, and then playing 7-drop with the 4-drop Zoro. You are in bad business right now. Again, I think looks like Doffy's gone such the tempo, all the advantage that they want, and David's just kind of struggling to find the pieces they need. Currently 8 Dawn at David, 7 Dawn on Ethan's side. Yeah, looking very strong for Ethan, to be honest. All right, Katakuri putting the 7-drop Luffy at the bottom of life. I'd be really tempted to put the guild there too, but both are, I think, valid targets. Both feel very off once they hit that board. And are we attacking with Katakuri, or are we attacking with our Randolph? I guess as we probably want to, right? Oh, okay, just 5k, and then leaving the Randolph up, which is interesting. Probably just saying, like, I don't want them to be able to swing into it. I'd rather them swing into my life and see what happens there. Top 3 getting a 2k counter with the chopper there. Alright, going down to 3 life, getting a Yamato. And then playing a Buena. Top 5 for a film card. I saw a couple whiffs. Did we hit anything? Looks like we've got a Nami. All right. And if we have a Thunderboggle in hand, we can be greedy and get the 2k, the -2 on Guild as well. Because then you'd be down to 7, and then Thunderbog would let you go back up to 8 and go to 10 at the start of the turn. And I think David may have been playing around that, the possibility that Thunderbog could be there to get a Doffy out on board. Alright, and David is thinking. 7k into life, going down to, oh, another Katakuri, going down to 2. And I think you might be tempted a little bit to go down to 1 card in life, because you do get, like, the Yamato heal. If you do want to play that next turn. And then you also get the pop of, like, the Nami. So it's, like, tempting, but I don't know. Alright, really thinking on this 7k swing. What's going on? Someone's thinking. Man, look at just how many cards are in Ethan's hand. I honestly think you're really okay to go down to 1 life if you're David. With Yamato in hand, it's probably fine. You do know what this last card in life, these last 2 cards are in life. All right, yeah, this is a lot of thinking. You have a lot of cards in hand as David too, to be honest. Okay, gets out of it after some mind chamber thinking. Some intense thought. We made it out. Again, I would not be too terribly worried to do the heal there, but maybe the idea is that, now I can play 10 drop and feel like a little bit better for it next turn. All right, another 1k. Another body on board. Leaving 2 open. believe we're at 7 Dawn right now, but if we do have Thunder Boggle, we can go up to 10, which is quite good. And we can play the Doffy the next turn, too. All right, David's thinking here. All right, 5K swing. A maybe? Thinking? Because if you... I don't know if they have 10-drop Big Mom. I don't think we've seen it found quite yet. I'd assume if their hand has been so bricky and they haven't been playing a lot, they have to probably have it. And I think the idea is that, you know, if they don't, they can Yamato to get rid of, like, the Zoro. You could have some potential there too. Like, it's really interesting. Yeah, it looks like we found our searchers now. Way too late. I think that's like the one balancing thing about 10-drop Big Mom is you can't play the pudding and then search it and play it the same turn. Like if you could do that, that'd be busted. But luckily you can't. Lucky you cannot. But David is, again, in that think tank. He's got time. But he's got to make a play eventually. You've got to make some plays. Yeah, I mean, like, there's, okay. Oh, okay, they're going for board. Alright, and so 8 into the guild. Alright, Bagua, which, again, bad news, because now they're going to be at 10. And I think that's, like, the best thing about Bagua. Like, Bagua can really fix being on negative turns. Alright, 7 into Nami. Alright. 2K, 1K. And like this is where like it's weird. Because now with this line of play, like either one, you didn't have the 10 drop, or two, if you did have the 9 drop Yamato, you should have taken that hit last turn. In general, like the removal just means like it's a little bit strong. Okay, yeah, see? I 100% think they should have taken the hit last turn and then 9 drop Yamato. If you're going to 9 drop anyways, you lost out on one potential card draw, essentially. And you had to discard 2 to save it. But you do get like the pop of the Zoro, which is something, but I don't know. This isn't sparking happiness for me. And that's kind of like why like Yamato is like in a weird spot. Your opponent kind of has to play into it sometimes. It's hard to like get optimal value for it. Outside of Queen, who likes to be at 1 life a lot. Like Yamato and Queen effect in the same turn, healing 2, getting rid of something, feels incredibly strong. But this is not necessarily it. And yeah, we're going for these. It does mean, no 10 drops coming down, so that feels a little bit better since we are paying Dawn there. But then 7K swing, getting to draw 2, just taking the cards from life. No, man. And we've got, what? 7 Dawn open? You got to be careful because you can't use all of it because you need to leave 2 Dawn open for Doffy effect. You don't get the 2 Dawn back. I've done that way too many times. You gotta be. If you don't think you're gonna win right now, like, go for it. Yeah. So this is like 12K. Alright, only 8k. 2Ks. 4 to play an Uta blocker, and passing from there. 2 down open blocker, like a dozen cards in hand. I think Ethan's in a good spot. It'd be very, very surprising to me if they weren't able to get out of this. Whatever you do, I think you gotta swing with your 5-7 first. And in the big think for David. We've been here for a bit. It's been we're approaching hour 7 of this tournament. This is finals too. A lot on the line, even though they split. There's that pressure for it. Has yellow hit a trigger? I don't think so. If they have, they decided not to use them. I don't believe so. Definitely no Thunderbolt, no Beige, no Blocker. Not this game, at least. Not this game, at least. Let's get the list. I'll get lists tomorrow. I think we're going to have to get kicked out is maybe too aggressive of a word, but I think we're just going to have to leave and but I'll have deck list out tomorrow. But you guys will be able to see these lists. No, come on, you gotta swing with the 5-7. Even if it feels bad. Because they will just snap Uta block, I feel like. Yeah, and this whole VOD will be re-uploaded to YouTube after I do some editing for it. To get down to just the gameplay. I'm going to say Wednesday, tentatively. Alright, big 9K. And Uta -1, rest the Randolph. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's, yeah, he's just scooping it up. He's like, you know what? Oh boy. Double 8 drops. Double 8 drops. And a 10 drop, and a 9 drop. Yeah, again, I think it would have been different if you took the damage, use the Yamato next turn to pop a Nami, and get that extra things from there. So, anyways, that's going to be it for this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this one.